Spiritual teaching 230. Love each other. 1. I contemplate you arriving from different places. You come to recreate yourselves under the shadow of the Father's roof. You have joined, and there is joy for it in my Father's heart, because it is enough for two hearts to reconcile, for me to celebrate. 2. You are going through a time of trials whose significance you have not come to understand, even having the light of my word. But since time is a treasure that I do not want you to waste, I come as a master to teach you to take advantage of it, making you know your destiny and your mission. 3. Take advantage of these moments, because soon I will leave from among you. My divine word, that by so many years I have given you through human understanding, will cease to be. 4. There is still a short time left in which I will give you my teaching and write all in my book. 5. That is why I rush to the doors of your heart, to tell the son who has become so used to my word, that he awakens from his deep sleep, that he grasp the hoe and the shovel, that he dig and cultivate the lands and love as your own life. Who knows how to share his lands and waters with his brothers? Let your eyes look with goodness. His right hand is extended in friendship, and his heart is free from selfishness, so that they be a true worker of my lands. 6. Do not wait for the hearts of men to be moved to make peace on earth. Get up and work. Do not wish the fall of some and the triumph of others to obtain peace and freedom. The one that must triumph is justice, brotherhood, love. 7. It will not be men who establish true peace on earth. Peace will come from my kingdom to this world, when you have achieved true spiritual preparation. 8. The light that illuminates you at this time is the light of the sixth seal, and if anyone says that it is another seal that is found open, you are in error. The sixth candlestick is burning like an inextinguishable lamp, illuminating with his revelations to the living and the dead, and awakening the spirits with his new prophecies. But do not believe that this light only illuminates the one who hears this word, because I tell you truly that scientists and theologians are also found in this light. 9. Why don't you wake up studying my doctrine, so that the master does not have to materialize explaining what, by analysis, you must understand? 10. Come to unite the fruits of science with the fruits of love of the Spirit, and you will bring good flavor to your palate. 11. Rest, travelers. Enjoy the freshness of this tree and eat its fruits. 12. I am before you, the Father who has always appeared on your path. 13. I receive you as representatives of all humanity, and I contemplate you prepared to receive and feel my spiritual presence. 14. You have always sought my divinity. When you thought you had not found me, you went to the images forged by your hands to feel me close. This is how much of humanity lives at this time, looking for me and adoring me in the images, while I find myself speaking to the world in the fullness of time with this communication. 15. Through dreams I am awakening humanity, dreams symbolic and prophetic, to which men pay no attention or analysis for lack of faith and preparation, and thus forget that vision without knowing that it is a divine message. 16. How far from the true path humanity is, living in a world ruled by its own free will and goes after the pleasure and passions of the flesh. 17. The spirit sleeps. The intelligence has not yet awakened to the light that is the truth, nor does it sense true light. 18. Humanity has not yet given the opportunity for its conscience to speak and judge. There are still those who believe themselves infallible and clean from errors, bearing darkness in the heart. 19. But the men are already tired, and that is why I have been approaching them to show them the path, to fill their spirit with light, making them understand their mistakes and lost time, and engage in the interior of man a combat between light and darkness. 20. In many ways I manifest myself to my children, always with infinite love, so your spirit is not lost. 21. If you have entered these humble houses of prayer, it has not been by your will. It has been my charity who has called you to give you spiritual sustenance and point out the path of redemption by which you can reach my presence. You will not arrive crestfallen nor haughty, but dignified and humble. 22. I am offering you eternal peace as I offered you in the first era, the lands of Canaan. You cannot miss the path because it is traced with my blood. My blood is true. It is love and eternity. Watch, because my revealed truth in my doctrine has been falsified by men, and some revelations have been hidden. 23. My example and that of my apostles has not been followed by all who have tried to follow me. Many have become lords instead of servants. They have filled their hearts with superiority and pride and have only pursued wealth, pomp, and honor, forgetting the needs of the poor, becoming indifferent and insensitive to misery and the suffering of others. That is why men go from one religion to another in search of truth. Hence the need of spiritual experience of creating new sects to seek me freely. 24. Those who yesterday were seen as saints, today are unknown by a disillusioned humanity. 25. Men stop looking for the confessor to absolve them of their faults, because they find him unworthy, and that the threat of hell with its eternal fire no longer impresses or shakes the heart of the sinner. 26. Taking advantage of this spiritual disorientation, the wolf lurks behind the brush. 27. Every minister of my divinity and every representative has the mission of making peace among men, and it is the opposite that they are doing at this time. Everyone believes themselves first. Everyone wants to be the strongest, forgetting that the strength I have is in everyone. 28. Now you can explain why in the second era I promised to return. Now you can understand why I have come to teach again. Because only my word can remove the bandage of darkness from the spirit. Only my love is capable to redeem you from your sins. 29. You have been called and chosen to be an example of faith in my coming, and of trust and obedience in my word. But do not wait for the last to be the ones who give you the example of good fulfillment in my law, because very great will be your pain, and when you see them march, cross borders and penetrate nations as emissaries of my word, you will understand your negligence and ingratitude. 30. Think about it, and if you want to be believed, start by setting a good example in your home. I want that if yesterday you were unknown because of the difference of tribes, now you love each other as one family. 31. Here is my clear word. If I came to speak to you in another language, it would be that of love. 32. I come to prepare your heart to be able to dwell in it. The world will also prepare. In the minds of men will germinate the seed of peace, and you, who will have spread it to all corners of the earth, will rejoice in contemplating the fruit of your work, because walking in imitation of the Master, you taught good living, and you prayed for everyone. 33. In all nations there will be talk of reconciliation, brotherhood, and peace. Yes, this will be a unifying principle. 34. I have been preparing you, and I have asked you if you are already willing to get up in pursuit of the roads, in search of your brothers, to show them the wisdom that in inspiration I have given you, and to answer satisfactorily to their interrogations. It seems impossible to anyone to fulfill this position. See that the knowledge that I have given you allows you to understand your mission. 35. It will not be essential that all of you have to visit the nations that you call foreign to spread my doctrine. It will be enough to raise your thought in prayer and cleanse your heart, so that your spirit is manifested, and to identify with your brothers no matter how distant they may be. and those will be put on alert by the beings of light. 36. You will join the spiritual world, forming with it a barrier that prevents new wars and new sufferings. You will continue to pray for those who seek to achieve spiritual mastery through force. You will be surprised, and the world will be surprised when men see that force has not dominated reason, brotherhood, and justice. 37. Be careful to give charity, not carrying in your heart selfishness. Do your best without any personal interest. Do it for love, which is the law that I have taught you, and you will have accumulated merits for your spirit. Show my teaching as I have given you. It is the same that I taught my prophets and my apostles in other times. 38. Man, in his materialism, has found the convenience of modifying the word I gave you in times past. But my work is perfect and does not rely on material words. Get ready and you will always discover my truth. Then you will find my perfect seed, that I have given you in abundance at all times, so that you also deliver it in that form. 39. It will not be necessary for you to impress anyone by using rites or external forms. The temple of your heart will become visible, and in it your brothers will contemplate his lamp and his altar. 40. Learn from now on to feel me, the same in your works, that you feel me when you are struggling to leave the mud when you have fallen. 41. I have taught you to seek the truth in simplicity. How poor is the human mind by seeking the truth in the complicated doctrines that it forges itself. Why are you looking for me when I am with him? Who does not know that he is created in the likeness of a father, endowed with divine attributes as consciousness, intelligence, and will? 42. I came to live with men in the second era. I shared your bread and your roof. As always, the greatness of Christ lies in his humility. 43. This is how I teach you, so that you know how to detach yourself from the material for the sake of your love for your neighbor. But before you must purify yourselves, because it is the law that you evolve. And if it is the law that everything evolves, even the events that are about to happen, what your eyes contemplate will only fill you with joy when you see that everything is governed by a most perfect law, and that what is happening today could not have happened before, because everything marches towards its perfection. 44. Not only on earth do we work for the advancement of humanity. From another world they also ask and help for your salvation and your progress. It is the spirit world. That is what I tell you, that the spiritualist seed will bear fruit in the bosom of all religions, after the great struggles. And when men say that it is a new religion that comes to sow division, you will answer that spiritualism is a doctrine. It is the same and the only one that since the first era has ruled the spirits. But that voice will come from your heart, which is where your feelings lie. They will manifest themselves when you cry for the pain of others, also when you cry for joy for that of your brethren, because that's what I've always taught you. 45. I speak to you through human understanding. My light and my grace infiltrated and are translated into words, that word that traces the only way to reach me, that of perfection and that of purity of feelings. 46. Humanity much love. You need great tests of spirituality so that your faith can be reborn and strengthen your hope. You need a clear word to get up from that lethargy in which you find yourself. It was necessary for my divine spirit to manifest in this way, so that you would feel that the Father would never abandon, that from the kingdom of truth guides you. 47. Are you not convinced by this test of love? My thought is light that descends to enliven the extinguished light of your lamp. The Master tells you that through the spiritualized man, the truth of the universe will be manifested, because he will know how to vibrate harmoniously in this world, to which he comes to learn useful lessons for its evolution. This world is not eternal, nor does it need to be. When this dwelling ceases to be the reason that it now has to exist, it will disappear. When your spirit no longer needs the lessons this life gives, because other higher ones await him in another world, then, with the light acquired in this struggle, he will say, "How clearly I understand now that all the vicissitudes of this life were only experience and lessons that I needed to understand better. How long that day seemed to me when suffering overwhelmed me. Now instead, that everything has passed, how brief and fleeting it seems to me before eternity." 48. Man is called to magnify his spirit. He is called to spiritualize your existence as you soar in search of perfection. 49. That matter that you possess is also called to achieve spirituality. When that is, the conditions of the life of humanity will change. From it will sprout spiritual faculties, today unknown by the inhabitants of the world. 50. You need this doctrine that comes to encourage your hope, that source of inexhaustible wisdom and truth, where you can quench your thirst. My light descends into the darkness of the mind of the one who says that he does not love the Spirit because he does not know it. Instead, material wealth, physical beauty that flatters his vanity, intelligence that is the cause of admiration, the name, the titles, that is what he loves. The human is not the flesh, nor its wealth. The human is only worth and exists by its spirit. I tell you again, that man is called to be the one who manifests the truth of the universe, of the heavens and of the worlds. Even today it does not succeed, because its materiality does not allow it to develop the subtle gifts of the Spirit. When this materialism disappears, he will become a seer who will enjoy contemplating the wonders of spiritual life. Then you will understand the conversion of Saul into Paul, the transformation of man to such a degree that a name change was necessary. With its previous name, the memory of his passions and matter and the evils that he provoked with it become ashes. If the spirit understands that it is evolving, that it lacks elevation, or that what it had to learn and develop in the material world is about to end, then it tends to unite it with the light of divinity, because the spirit is light that goes towards the light. 51. Rejoice, humanity. Think that you are birds of passage in this world full of tears, poverty, and sufferings. Rejoice because it is not your abode for eternity. Better worlds await you, like this. When you say goodbye to this earth, you will do it without bitterness, and here will be the woes of pain, the work, the tears. You will say goodbye to this world, and you will rise towards those who await you on high. From there you will see the earth as a point in space that you will remember with love. 52. Do not be sad, because the day will come when you will move away from this valley of tears in which you have so much suffered, and whom you will love tomorrow, recognizing that in him you have acquired the light that your spirit yearned for. 53. Be happy loving your fellow men, healing the sick, consoling the sad, encouraging the poor, and then the blessings of heaven will come to you. Do you want to spiritualize? Christ will help you so that you can achieve that grace. 54. Truly I tell you, that if today men are more matter than spirit, tomorrow they will be more spirit than matter. Men have tried to absolutely materialize your spirit, but that complete materialization will not be achieved. Because the spirit is brilliant, and brilliant it will never cease to be, even when it has fallen into the mire. 55. Humanity does not know the happiness of the perfect spirit, because it has not reached the height of perfection. When I cleanse your heart and in your spirit save my truth to put it into practice, you will discover a peace and a happiness that you did not know before. That will be the life that the tree of the first parable revealed to humanity, whose ripe fruits will calm the hunger of the spirit. Perfect yourselves. Rise above the earth, and do not suffer for the ingratitude or misunderstanding of others. 56. Love is the ladder that leads to God who loves you, and to Mary, the spiritual mother who also loves you, as well as to your spiritual brothers, who also love you. 57. From the divine mind, a stream of messages emerges. Keep from them as much as it pleases your heart. 58. Give me the darkness of your sufferings. I will turn them into the clarity of peace. Give me your sobs and tears. When I visit your heart in silence, I will penetrate like a ray of the sun to illuminate it. 59. Lessons of love I have given you, so that you feel this essence in your heart. Here is my comforting balm pouring out in each of your afflictions. Your spirits are strengthened. 60. I say to you, blessed are you who approach me with your heart prepared, because my word is the balm and caress that enlivens the flame of your faith. 61. My kingdom descends on suffering humanity, and my word resounds through the chosen of this time, so that those who listen to me become the consolation of men. 62. In all times I have had intermediaries between men and my divinity. They have been the meek and humble of heart of which I have served. I am preparing the new messengers of my teachings so that this good news will be among men, the awakening to spiritual life. 63. How many of those who are qualified to carry out a noble spiritual mission are sleeping scattered around the world? They will awaken, and their spiritual advancement will manifest by transforming themselves into useful beings to their fellow man, in the nobility of their feelings. They will be humble and will never flaunt their superiority. 64. Vanity, which has manifested weakness from the first man, it will be fought through spirituality. It is the struggle that has always existed between spirit and matter. For while the spirit tends towards the eternal and elevated in search of the essence of the Father, matter he seeks only what satisfies and flatters him, even when it is to the detriment of the spirit. This struggle that occurs in each human is a force originated in the same man by the influence of the world it receives, because what is material seeks everything that is related to its nature. If the spirit manages to dominate and channel that force, will have harmonized in its own being its two natures and will reach its progress and elevation. If, on the contrary, allows himself to be dominated by the force of matter, then he will be led towards evil. He will be a rudderless boat in the middle of a storm. 65. You who hear me, feel the desire to get away from everything superfluous to free your spirit. You are in full struggle. So I tell you, keep watching and praying that the time comes when your spirit identifies and harmonizes with its body. Today you still suffer from the attraction of the world and you feel weak to resist temptation. By intuition, humanity senses an air of perfection, but does not know the time when it will be. 66. Men will follow different paths in pursuit of this goal, but those who fight for the spiritual progress of the world will reach it. Those who cling to religious fanaticism will not evolve, and those who devote themselves all the time to the study of material will only get material results. 67. Spirituality will be what leads man to perfection, but do not confuse the practice of true spirituality, which is communion and approach to the Creator through love, charity, and inner worship, with the practice of those sciences by means of which men desecrate and materialize beings from the hereafter. Here is my doctrine that comes to remove the veil of ignorance that hides the truth from men. 68. My doctrine of love prepared you at this time so that you would receive in your bosom the presence of my spiritual world, so that they would help you understand my word, a time that is now ending. My peace be with you.